I finally met the caseworker, it was just more of a judgment of, you hit your son, you're a bad person, you're a monster, and these are the things you need to do.
The first interaction wasn't until I was pregnant with my son. They already took my daughter away. All I know is I had the baby, I was in the hospital, and then they just say, you're not bringing your son home. It wasn't even a caseworker, it was people from the hospital when I was expecting to take him home. They just said, no, somebody from ACS is coming to take your son, you can't take him home.
My son, I have him. His mother passed away. That was a big setback between me and him. And that's where our problem started. So when I lost him, it was like, wow, because I promised his mom before she died that I was gonna take care of him.
I think it just made me feel more powerless, thinking that I wasn't a good mother because they kept telling me I was doing everything wrong and then nothing I did was right. I think she could have understood that I was a first-time mother, that I was only 18 at the time.
I was pregnant and I was living in a place for mothers and mothers who are pregnant or who have really small children. Nobody told me anything that they'd possibly be looking to take the kid away once he's born. Then they scheduled a meeting right after that. But they didn't tell me anything, what the meeting's gonna be like. They don't prepare you for this. I was scared. Nobody told me any information. I could have got a lawyer way ahead of time. I could have prepared for this. I could have got a preventive worker, so I might have even got a chance to take him home. Nobody gave me a chance. It is challenging. They give you a bunch of different appointments, and most of them are really far from where I was living at the time. And they expect you to be on time, but they don't expect themselves to be on time. They could be late, they could just not show up whenever they want, but if you do that, it's a big deal.
Them having that authority power over me just made it harder for me because I'm not very good with authority figures. So them telling me what to do and how to do it and when to do it just made me more angry and more hateful toward them.
Okay, the caseworker, when I spoke to her, all I got from her was she wanted to know this, she wanted to know that. She wasn't showing me any form of, like, trying to help me.
I was confused because my worker kept telling me, you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing it right. And I said, well, I'm trying. And then she says, do you want me to go to the court and tell him, well, she said she's trying? And when I specifically asked her then, what can I do to fix it? What can I do to make this better? She just says, like, I don't know. If you don't know that, then I can't help you. You're supposed to know that. And it just made everything even more confusing.
During a visit, and I was getting frustrated already because, again, everybody's always in my room, and my reactions when they tell me things is just to flip out and get angry. So when I started flipping, and usually the caseworkers will be like, visit's over. This worker was like, can I speak to you for a minute? And she took me out of the room, and she didn't talk to me as if I was a child. She kind of understood that I was already upset. And she just straight up told me, like, you know, this is your life. This ain't my life. I'm making this case worse. I'm making my son stay in foster care longer. And I think just her being a person with me and treating me as a real person and not as a monster and kind of talking to me like an adult and not like a child like everyone else saw me at the agency just opened my eyes. And I was already 2 years into my case. So her saying little things like, this is your life, you're about to lose your rights to your son, very specific, just made me think like it's time for me to just stop acting crazy at the agency and calm it down just for his sake.
They felt I needed to have a preventive worker, and this preventive worker worked very hard to prove that she can be trustworthy. She was on my side the whole time. And she didn't try to make me trust her right away. It took some time. She's there just for me, not looking to blame me or get me in trouble for every little thing that me and my son don't agree with.
The case planner kept telling me, show up. Because if you show up and you keep showing up, your son is going to see this and he's going to say, well, Dad cares. She spoke to me, but she spoke to me as a parent, not as a caseworker. She spoke to me about her kids and what she went through and how she dealt with it.
She just taught me basically stuff I needed to know, how to cook healthier meals for my son, how to make sure I keep everything clean and comfortable, how to get myself services that I need. I wasn't alone, we did it all together. And you gotta learn how to hold him close and let them go too. I guess I thought if I let him go, he wouldn't come back. He's always coming back.
She has the parent peer support group, and she started talking to me about it. And she was saying, you can come and pick up on parenting techniques. And we get to help other parents by saying how we accomplished certain things, what we went through and how we dealt with them.
She just basically said, what are your goals? What does your future look like with your son? And then she got more into my schooling and me going to training and me bettering myself as a person and not just doing mandated services that ACS wanted me to do. And she helped empowered me. I mean, she was like, you're so young, you're so beautiful, let's go to school. What kind of trainings do you want? I would say it's important for them to encourage us and show that they're on our side, because when we're going through ACS and we have a case, we just feel so little.